Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Scout helicopter in the Battlefield 4 beta. Now, not a lot of people knew this, and it took me a while to figure it out, but you could actually join regular-sized Conquest servers to fly in the Scout helicopter. There's only 3 capture points. If you look at the mini-map, you'll notice that it's the 3 capture points that are closest to the center skyscraper. There's no attack helicopters. You get the Scout heli, and that's pretty much it for air vehicles. It's unfortunate that there weren't more 32-player servers available, at least during the PC beta. I think the Scout helicopter version of this map is actually really well balanced and a lot of fun to play. Now, picking off infantry from the top of the skyscraper was a lot of fun with the little bird. And it's something that I still have to get used to aiming with. It almost feels like the bullets, since they cross over from either side of the chopper, meet up at a certain point, and if you can line that up right, then you'll kill infantry better. So it seems like certain engagement distances are preferable to kill infantry as opposed to just really up close and personal. That might not be the best way to kill them. Honestly, I have to test it out more, fly around more, get used to it. The little bird is significantly more agile than it was in Battlefield 3, which is a really nice addition to the game because it did feel kind of sluggish in Battlefield 3, where the attack helicopter was pretty darn agile and fast. So now in Battlefield 4, the little bird is actually very agile and quick to change around. The attack helicopter is still fast in terms of overall speed, but its maneuverability has gone down a little bit. So now you actually have a bigger divergence in the helicopter's abilities, and the Scout helicopter has some nice little abilities over the attack helicopter. Actually, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when Scout helicopters go up against attack helicopters in air-to-air combat, because I think once the Scout helicopter gets in close, we're going to find that it's potentially even more effective than an attack helicopter. So I think that's going to be a really fun little dynamic. Another really interesting aspect of Little Bird combat is the passenger seats. Passengers can now aim straight forward on the Little Bird, which leaves you some very interesting combat options. You're going to see here, I'm going to pop out an RPG that has lock-on. The passenger on the other side has got a laser tool. He lasers the helicopter, and I am able to fire a lock-on rocket from the side of the Little Bird and get the kill. So the pilot doesn't even take out the other helicopter in that scenario. And although they are getting rid of lock-on RPGs in the final release, we're still going to have javelins and other explosive devices that will do the same thing. So there's going to be some very interesting combinations, and the passengers are now going to play a much bigger role in the actual fate of the Little Bird helicopter. I remember losing a duel in this thing to another Little Bird helicopter where the pilot wasn't particularly great, but he had 2 passengers that were non-stop firing Stinger missiles at me, and I simply could not pop flares or repair fast enough to deal with the amount of damage incoming. So a Little Bird with multiple guys with Stinger missiles, with lock-ons, with javelins, with guys repairing your helicopter at the same time, there's going to be some very interesting combinations, and I think it's just going to make the combat aspect of this so much more interesting. And I love shooting those guys out of the air that are parachuting down. It's probably one of the more fun things to do in this helicopter. Now you're going to notice here I'm going to assault a rooftop that is just crawling with bad guys. Now in Battlefield 3, I feel like one pass here I might have been able to take out 3 guys just because of the sheer damage of the minigun versus infantry. It seems like you have to focus fire a little bit more in Battlefield 4. Spend some time taking them out. I'm trying to be maneuverable and accurate at the same time. Flying directly at your target isn't always the best idea just because it makes you an easy shot for shooting out of the cockpit. And I know I hit that building there, but I actually did survive it. And this is me coming back from the helicopter auto repairing and finishing off the last guys on the rooftop. Like all the other vehicles in beta, the Little Bird really didn't have access to a lot of unlocks. In fact, I think I got really close to unlocking the Stinger missiles and then just never got them. And we know you can get lock-on air-to-ground missiles, lock-on air-to-air missiles, and there's going to be a bunch of other little fun weapons to play around with. Different primary cannons, so instead of having dual miniguns, you'll get 25mm explosive round cannons, and those can have different kinds of effects on armor and infantry down below. Currently, the miniguns don't do any damage to heavy armor. So that's a little bit of a difference from Battlefield 3. In BF3 you could kind of peck down at the armor of a tank and help out with infantry on the ground. In this you may as well just not even bother shooting at the tank because you're not going to do anything. Jeeps, however, are highly susceptible to miniguns, and you can take them out in a quick little strafe. So I almost feel bad for Jeep drivers to a certain extent because they have so little warning between when they start getting shot and when they're going to die. And again, these building tops are just such a fun place to fly the little bird over because it's just all about clearing out these infantry. Luckily, they're not too great of shots with those RPGs, otherwise I think I would have pretty much met my end right here. But it's fun just kind of obstructing all these rooftop campers with the scout helicopter, and you can see they're continuing to spawn on there. My passengers are actually shooting down at them with RPGs, and I gotta say, you can get some good kills from air to ground with those RPGs on the side of the chopper. It's not that hard to aim. Now, one area of Battlefield 4 that I so far don't have very much information on, and most of the community doesn't really have any info on, is jet combat, how they're gonna work, how they're going to relate into helicopter combat, anti-air combat, how hard they're going to be to take out. And that's one thing that I'm really curious about because it's something that is just such an important factor. We look at helicopters right now without any jets in the game, and they seem like a lot of fun and seem like they're just kind of overpowered maybe. But once jets get in there, it could be a whole nother story. You might actually have to outfit your helicopters in a way that is far less air to ground and a little bit more air to air to try and deal with those air threats. Also, these clips mainly consist of me just like cleaning up rooftops, and it's not to say I wasn't getting shot down a lot in the Little Bird. There were a lot of organized squads of RPG laser guys that were just taking me down, and I just got used to flying in a manner that once I knew if a squad had a laser or an RPG combo, then I knew to fly a little bit more cautiously and kind of pop up around building corners at them and just not give them a lot of time to lock onto me. So this mechanic is going to change from the beta to final Battlefield 4, but I've developed sort of a very stealthy approach now, a very cautious approach to engaging infantry on rooftops from helicopters, which hopefully will translate over into the final launch and make me a better pilot. So that pretty much wraps it up for this preview of the Scout helicopter. I want you guys to think about the combinations that you can make with the infantry in the passenger seats and some of the helicopter abilities. I think we're going to find some really cool emergent gameplay coming from those combinations. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.